Elizabeth II now is no more. She was the Queen of the United Kingdom and 14 other Commonwealth realms from 6 February 1952 until her death on today. Her reign of 70 years and 2014 days was the longest of any British monarch in history and the second largest recorded of any monarch of a sovereign country in history. Elizabeth was born in Mayfair, London, as the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York. Her father acceded to throne in 1936 upon the abdication of his fourth brother, King Edward VIII, making Elizabeth their heir presumptive. She was educated privately at home, began to undertake public duties during the Second World War, serving in the Auxiliary Territorial Service. In November 1947, she married Philip Mountbatten, a former Prince of Greece and Denmark, and their marriage lasted 73 years until his death in April 2021. They had four children today: Charles III, Anne, Princess Royal, Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and the Prince Edward, Earl of Wessex. When her father died in February 1952, Elizabeth, then 25-year-old, became Queen Regnant of seven independent Commonwealth countries: the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and Ceylon, as well as head of the Commonwealth. Elizabeth reigned as a constitutional monarch through the major political changes such as the troubles in Northern Ireland, devolution in the United Kingdom, and the decolonization of Africa, and the United Kingdom's accession to the European communities and withdrawal from the European Union. The number of her realm varied over time as a territory have gained independence and some realm have become the republics. Her many historic visits and meetings include states visits to China in 1986, Russia in 1994, the Republic Ireland in 2011, and these visits to are from five popes. Significant events include Elizabeth coronation in 1953 and the celebration of her silver, golden, diamond, and platinum jubilees in 1977, 2002, 2012, and 2022, respectively. Elizabeth was the longest lived and longest reigning British monarch, the oldest and the longest service incumbent head of the state, and the second longest verifiable reigning sovereign monarch in world history, only behind Louis of France. She faced the occasional Republican sentiment and media criticism of her family, particularly after the breakdowns of her children's marriages. Her annus horribilis in 1992 and the death of her former daughter-in-law Diana, Princess of Wales, in 1997. However, the support of the monarchy in the United Kingdom remained consistently high, as did her personal popularity. Elizabeth died today on 8 September 2022 at Balmoral Castle, Aberdeenshire. Now, come to the early life of Elizabeth. Elizabeth was born at 2 GMT on 21st April 1926 during the reign of paternal grandfather King George V. Her father, the Duke of York, later King George VI, was the second son of king. Her mother, the Duchess of York, was the youngest daughter of a Scottish aristocrat at whose London home she was delivered by Caesarean section. She was the baptized by the Anglican Archbishop of York, Cosmogordon Lang, in private chapel of the Buckingham Palace on 29th May, and named Elizabeth after her mother, Alexandra after her paternal great grandmother who had died 6 months earlier, and Mary after her paternal grandmother, called Lilibet by her close family members, based on what she called herself at first. She was the cherished she was cherished by her grandfather George V, whom she was affectionately called Grandpa England, and her regular visit during his serious illness in 1929 were credited in popular press and by later biographers with raising his spirits and aiding his recovery. Elizabeth's only sibling, Princess Margaret, was born in 1930. The two princes were educated at home under the supervision of their mother and their governess, Maharani. Lessons concentrated on history, language, literature, and music. Crawford published a biography of Elizabeth and Margaret's childhood, heirs, entitled The Little Princess in 1950, much to dismay of the royal family. The book described the Elizabeth's love of horses, dogs, her orderliness, and her attitude or responsibility. Other records, such observation, Winston Churchill described the Elizabeth when she was two as a character. Wa- she has an air of authority and reflectiveness, astonishing in infant. Her cousin Margaret describe her as a jolly little girl, but fundamentally sensible and well behaved.